Welcome to Sphere Finance. I am Price Time, and you're watching Sphere TV. Sphere Finance has updated its website with some new features, including what we've been working on and where we're going. In addition, the DApp has received an update to include different elements. Let's go through these briefly first before going over our roadmap. First, you may notice the dashboard no longer houses the Treasury dashboard. Instead, the protocol's performance can be found in stats, so that you can track our investments, strategies, and performance over time. Bear in mind that this does not include all investments in the Treasury, for example, our DYST and PEN earnings, so our monthly revenue is actually higher than currently displayed. The Galaxy Marketplace is now live and accessible in the Bonds tab. Here you will find deflationary kinetic bonds, where you can use assets such as USDC to buy Sphere at a discount when Sphere reserves are available. Unlike classic DeFi bonding mechanisms, the Sphere used in the Galaxy Marketplace are not minted. Rather, they come from taxes. In addition, you may recall that assets used to bond Sphere are split 80% into the Treasury for yield generation and 20% into our Fredbot, who will use those assets to buy and burn Sphere from the liquidity pool and or will use those assets to build up Sphere's liquidity. The games are now divided under one menu. Here you can find the Sphere games, where you can deposit Sphere for a chance to win from the prize pool. In addition, you will earn Sphere drip rewards for simply participating in the games. Don't forget that there is a 30% early withdrawal tax that lasts 14 days. Again, under the games menu, Dice and Coin Toss will take you to BetSwirl, where you can test your luck for a chance to earn more Sphere, or else lose your bet. Finally, in More, you will find several links. First is Swap Sphere, which currently takes you to Dystopia Swap. Second is Transfer Sphere, which is where you can make a one-time 100% transfer of your Sphere tokens to a new address, for the purposes of moving Sphere from a hot wallet to a cold storage wallet. When sent this way, there is a 0% transfer tax, but the process is irreversible. Third, under More, is a link to the documentation, which will take you to the Sphere documents where you can read more about Sphere. And finally is the Sphere Wiki, which is a community-maintained source of information about Sphere Finance and its ecosystem. As a final note, you can see Sphere's current price, can connect or disconnect your wallet, add relevant Sphere tokens to your wallet, and can change your currency using the gear icon in the top right of the page. Now, onto our new timeline and direction pages. Phase 0.9 was the pre-launch phase and showed tremendous potential for the project. The pre-sales were fully sold out within minutes, and the public sale completed the $1 million raised in less than 2 minutes. The DApp and Discord were then launched to help build the community. We then entered Phase 1, the build phase, which we are presently in. This first consisted of transitioning from an inflationary token to one that is deflationary to provide buy pressure and increase the scarcity of the Sphere token. We are now in the process of building out our quantum liquidity as a service, liquidity as a service, and other projects. These projects will encompass the many opportunities of DeFi, but only by building the best versions of each in order to set the foundation within DeFi for liquidity and capital management. In conjunction with this is the identification of and building with strategic partners for the benefit of the entire Sphere ecosystem. After these DeFi utility items are in place, Sphere will be positioned to build and deploy Sphere v3 or VE Sphere, allowing Sphere to become a single token that contains the value of an entire ecosystem of protocols. With our vast ecosystem in place, Sphere will be perfectly positioned for scaling up for greater adoption in Phase 1.1. This will include building the Sphere treasury from its ecosystem, making Sphere the #1 holder of these various protocols, scaling up marketing to build awareness of Sphere and to drive adoption, and scaling up buyback burning thanks to that growing ecosystem revenue. Finally, with all of that in place, Phase 1.2 introduces the growth phase, where as more burns occur and more people are interested in locking up VE Sphere for the ecosystem rewards and governance, the Sphere token will become increasingly scarce. While that is occurring, using its ecosystem of resources, Sphere will expand into its next era. Remember, our vision is an ecosystem that encompasses the many opportunities of DeFi, but only by building the best versions of each. Now, if you are still curious to learn more about Sphere's roadmap, there is a link to a more detailed version of this timeline and direction. For those of you interested, this gives a much more detailed history and description of future planning. The launch phase was only just back in Q1 of 2022 and included their transition of Sphere to V2 and V2.1, the launch of Penrose, and partnerships with Tetu, GOS, and USD+. The build phase is now Q2 and Q3 of 2022 and includes the multi-chain dashboard for the Treasury's unique yield farming strategies, an upgrade to the Sphere games, and the inclusion of non-inflationary drip rewards to the Sphere games, the release and upgrade of our beloved buy and burn bot Bernie, and the launch of Unknown and Galaxy Marketplace. The next steps will then be in Q4 2022 and beyond, where Spherians can expect the launch of Dyson, a maximizer project with exotic strategies for yield farmers, with a portion of performance fees being used to buy and burn Sphere and or deepen Sphere's liquidity. Preon will be a lending protocol and stablecoin that will allow for leveraging at 0% interest with yield opportunities. The liquid markets will allow you to make your yield-bearing tokens liquid so that you can continue to earn without needing to lock those governance tokens. Sphere v3 will introduce VE Sphere so that Spherians can lock their tokens to earn yield from the ecosystem and vote to earn additional bribe revenue using the Treasury's growing portfolio of governance tokens. Covenant will make those bribes more capital efficient both for Spherians and for projects in need of liquidity. Quantum liquidity and quantum liquidity as a service, innovative solutions for passively growing liquidity, will also be revamped. And there is significantly more that is yet to come. We have an insatiable appetite for breaking new ground in the DeFi space, and will continue to build new products, technologies, and partnerships to further the value of the entire Sphere ecosystem. The best place to stay up to date on announcements or contact us is through the Sphere Finance Discord. Check the description below for official links. You can also leave us a comment below and we will do our best to help. After all, this video and channel is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Thanks for watching, and always remember that you matter for who you are. The Galaxy Marketplace